Ho, ho, ho. Happy Thanksgiving. It's Holden here with Mr. Mangone, Travis. This is absolutely spectacular. We got Thanksgiving this week. We got our 3 football games. How many naps will you be taking, Mangone, as we get ready here for DFS and bets? But how many naps happen on Thanksgiving for you?
Oh, no naps, man. No days off. We're grinding the games
What?
out, man. Who's taking a nap on Thanksgiving, man? We're out here grinding in the streets. We're playing DFS. We're betting
Dude,
games. No way. No days off, man.
that tryptophan kicks in. There's nothing you can do.
Uh,
People are drunk. They're eating turkey. How do they stay awake for the 3 games?
well, it's definitely a different Thanksgiving, right? I don't think we're gonna be. I don't know if we're, packing everyone on all the houses this year. I mean, mine's gonna be a little more quiet, but turkey's overrated, Holden. I like the stuffing. That I'm good for that, but I don't have a ton of turkey, so it doesn't really get me too bad. So
I love turkey with the yam stuff with the marshmallows on it. That's my favorite. Just mix the turkey in because turkey's like a pancake. Turkey's like a pancake. It's a vehicle for something else. Pancakes are a vehicle for syrup. Turkey is a vehicle for gravy and yams and cranberries. Mix it all up into one big thing and eat it.
Yeah, hold on. I'm that guy that I would love my food not to touch. Like we're not mixing and matching stuff. That's
What?
not happening. Yeah, no. I don't want my food touching, separate it, keep it away from each other. No mix and matching things. I mean, obviously, we want like fries with ketchup. They work together,
That's
right?
so
But
weird.
we're not putting yams with like turkey. No, we got to be separate. I mean, of course, if the turkey with the gravy, I'm in on that. That's fine, right?
Okay.
That's okay. But like
Okay.
the yams, like there's people that mix some weird things.
Yeah.
I'm not in on that.
Yeah, I'll take the turkey and I'll take the yams and the real cranberries, not the gross stuff from the can, like the real cranberry sauce. Then you mix them all together and it's delicious.
No, like I don't want my mashed potatoes touching my steak, right? Like I want it all separate. Like just keep it, in their own
Well,
compartment.
that's delicious too. Come on, Mango, and it doesn't sound like you have a fun Thanksgiving plate. It's a little disappointing. I'm going to set your plate at a $4,000 quarterback. You could be like Taysom Hill this week, though, because he'll upset it. Anyways,
A lot of value there on that one.
subscribe to Premium right now. This is a free show, but our Premium just went. Yesterday, I used JSU's core, and it absolutely went off, and I won some money. So I was very happy about that. So I really like that. Anyways, $80 for Premium. All you got to do is use the code Showdown, and you get our premium package. You get Showdown stuff. You get all our cores, our playbook. Mangone has stuff out there, cash plays, tiers, stacks. It's really awesome stuff. So that's it. You get 25% off first payment. Showdown. Use the code Showdown. You get a 25% off. Plus, if you want to spend $20 more, use our bet side. And the bet side went off yesterday, too. It's just spectacular stuff. You like to make money. Mango, why don't you tell them about liking and subscribing?
Yeah, well, guys, hit that subscribe on the video. It helps us out a ton. We would absolutely appreciate it. As our buddy JJ says, give us those 2 thumbs up on the video, and we'll appreciate it. And Holden, there's this, you just gave out that one code for Showdown. We actually have a different one. We have, one that's going to give you a little bit of a better deal. So I'm one upping you.
What?
Yeah. Turkey 50 gives you 50% off of your first purchase. So Turkey 50, use that, and you get that off of the DFS product over at Rum Pure Sports.
Wow. Look at that, Mangone. Like and subscribe.
Holden, you're not only getting, because you're getting a week, right? You're not only getting 1 slate, you're getting 2. You're getting the Turkey Day slate, you're getting the Sunday slate, and that's not also college football. You're getting a Wednesday slate, or not Wednesday. Yeah, you're getting a Friday slate and a Saturday slate. So there you go.
And if you sign up for bets, our guy Maxwell Smart, sure, he might not be 5 feet tall, but the guy knows his college basketball.
That is true. Maxwell Smart is one guy we'll be tailing in the college basketball, and I'm excited. He already put a play out on Twitter, and he put one out there, and I'm definitely going to be tailing it. I forgot to do it still, but I'm going to jump on it after the show.
Well, being that I went to Kansas, we got Gonzaga coming up, and I will be hanging out with Maxwell Smart doing live shows.
Holden, that's my team. I don't know if you know that. Gonzaga's my squad. Gonzaga, man.
Yeah, you look like you're from Idaho / Eastern Eastern.
No, so I watched, I guess when I was a kid, one reason I picked Gonzaga is I like dogs, and 2, I like Dan Dickau. Dan Dickau was my guy. He was one of my favorite players to watch. He was a short dude that just shot threes up, and hey, I wasn't the tallest. I wasn't Maxwell Smart's height.
Was that like 1980?
It was a while ago.
No, you're right. It was Dickau and Casey Calvary. I actually was at the NCAA tournament when they made their first run.
Yep.
Dan Munson was their head coach. They had Casey Calvary and all those other guys, and then few came along. Anyways, this is not a college basketball show. This is a football show. So what Mangone and I are going to do, we're going to look at the Turkey Day slate. 3 games. Betting, same 3 games. DFS. Mangone, let's get the betting thing real quick. Let's start with the Houston-Detroit game, because Houston's actually won a couple, I think 2 out of 3 now. They go into Detroit. Here's my problem with this game. Is Swift playing? Is Galladay going to play? Even if they do, Detroit is just so horribly coached. And it's not like the Texans are a better coached up team. Both these teams stink. 2.5-point favorites on the road for Houston. 51.5 is the total. How do we lay 2.5 with Houston on the road?
Yeah, tough, obviously, from a betting perspective. And this is the highest total, right? It's in a dome. So, yeah, this is the game that I know DFS-wise it'll get a lot of love, but we're talking betting here. And if you look, like, I'm trying to think through the scenarios of what's going to happen. We like to bet player props, right? Player props are, a good thing to attack, right? The one reason why we like them is they're softer lines. And I want to know what's going to happen with Kenny Galladay. I personally think, and again, this is on Monday, this isn't on Wednesday or Tuesday, and new news might come out, but I think Kenny Galladay plays. He was a limited participant on Wednesday, right? And I think Kenny Galladay maybe could have pushed it and played Sunday. And you know what he probably said? He probably said, am I playing on this game on Sunday, or am I playing the Thanksgiving one, right? Like, I think it was one of those things where it's like, if he goes, it might be hurting a little afterwards. He's probably still banged up, but he's going to try and play this Turkey Day game because it's a big game, right? Everyone loves to get up for that game. So I think Kenny Galladay ends up playing. I really do. Like I said, he participated limitedly on Wednesday, so that's obviously a good sign. I don't know about Swift. That is my concern. If you look at Swift, he was in concussion protocol, right? I mean, concussion is just simple. It's like either got one or you don't, right? And if he didn't have one, he would have played, right? He's still dealing with the issues with it. So he hasn't cleared protocol, so he did not play. So we just have to take the wait and see approach. And that's obviously going to affect how to do, like, some of these props and placing bets. And that's going to adjust with some of the lines of the game, because when Kenny Galladay is in, that Lions offense is a lot better. He just helps stretch the field. He's just a big difference maker. If you look at all the stats, I don't have them like handy on me, but everything says when Galladay is in, it is a massive bump for a guy like Matthew Stafford. And it is worth mentioning when we're talking about injuries, Matthew Stafford is dealing with that thumb still. So,
yes.
And he even messed up on kind of bobbled the snap. I heard the announcers say they were talking about how the thumb may have affected him there. And I didn't completely see it. Maybe, it was just, hey, it was a bad snap, but the thumb is definitely probably causing some issues, because when you put up a dud like you did there, that's definitely concerning. I think the Lions do bounce back a bit. I'm not worried about this Texans defense too much. You said the line is 2.5, Holden?
Yes, the Texans are favorites on the road.
Geez, yeah, road favorites is an odd thing to see from the Texans.
I know. Here's the deal too. I mean, I don't look at trends that much, but Houston's 3-7 against the spread. Detroit is 4-6 against the spread. Neither one of these teams very good there. But I mean, if I'm going to side with Houston, then I'm hoping that Deshaun Watson did what he did last week or yesterday. 28 of 37, 344, 2 touchdowns, didn't turn the ball over, and he scored a touchdown too. Like, I get it. They were 2.5-point dogs, but now they're at home. Now they're 2.5-point favorites on the road. It's like maybe we just don't bother with the side in this one and look at the total at 51.5, because neither team's going to be able to stop the other team. And yeah, Galladay might be back. If Swift is back, does that give you confidence that these two teams can go over 51.5?
Yeah, I mean, definitely gives you more confidence if they're going to have, all the tools to be using. Another thing that I want to know is, like, is Tunsil going to be in for the Texans? Like, offensive linemen are super valuable to me when looking at teams, right? I played some Duke Johnson yesterday. It did not go well, but one reason I didn't mind playing Duke Johnson was because I thought the Patriots' run D was really bad. And one thing I maybe should have realized afterwards is, hey, like, Tunsil not playing maybe was a bigger downgrade than I realized, right? That Texans team cannot run the ball. And I don't necessarily blame, like, Duke Johnson for it. I mean, they're just not a good offensive line. I mean, Duke Johnson's not great, but that offensive line is abysmal. So I want to get the news on Tunsil. Is he in? Is he out? That's something I want to be looking for. And this feels like a good game, maybe to kind of take the wait and see approach. Like, I feel like it's a real toss-up. And sometimes when I feel like it's a toss-up, I'm like, why don't I just lean with the team that's the dog, right? You don't have to go and bet this game, right? We don't have to bet every single game, but if you're looking for some action, first game, I would lean just taking the dog right now. If you can give me the 3 for the Lions, I want to do that. But I think you said it's at 2.5. So I think a lot of this injury news could shake it one way or another. And I don't care about the number 2.5, right? If it goes down to 2, then obviously if you want to jump on it, it's not a big deal, right? I want to wait to see if that number gets to 3. If it's at 3, I want to jump on the Lions or 3.5, depending on the news as well. If it's at 2.5, I would lean Texans then.
And the last thing I'll just bring up, Tunsil missed the game because of flu, but the concern there was Titus Howard because their right tackle was out too. And he didn't have his left tackle at his right tackle. Watson didn't. And he still went and did a wonderful job last week. So that's pretty impressive stuff. Let's get to this game from a DFS perspective. Houston at Detroit. FanDuel, Watson, 8,700. Matthew Stafford, 7,200. Watson's going to be the most popular, isn't he? Just because the other quarterbacks would be Dalton, Alex Smith, I guess Big Ben and Lamar Jackson, but the guy with the best matchup is Watson. He's going to be most popular, isn't he?
Yeah. Before we kind of talk about it, let me just like kind of, take the podium here and hijack the show. This slate sucks, man. They ruined a slate that could have been
Stop
good.
it.
No, Holden. Okay. You haven't built a team yet. I'm just telling you.
I have.
Well, I mean, okay. I don't know how you like it, but let me just explain why. Ezekiel Elliott is the highest priced running back at 6.8K. McLaurin, the highest priced receiver at 7K. What are we doing here? Why is that the case? Bring their prices up, man. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, we got Juju Smith-Schuster. He is going to be questionable. And he's sitting out here, we got Deontay Johnson at 6'2". We got Claypool at 6'1". Like, jack their prices up a little bit. Like, don't make it so you can play whoever you want, right? Make it so it's not a pick 'em. I want to be out here with a little bit of more of a challenge. I get it. There's more casuals playing. You want them to be easier to put their teams in. And I'll say this. There's probably in tournaments, and obviously I'm always looking for an edge, right? In tournaments, there's a lot of merit to leaving salary on the table this week because it's easy to do. It's not that difficult. So definitely look to take those routes and take on that strategy. I think it's worth looking at to make your lineups unique in tournaments. But in cash games where you're always trying to just get everything you can, it's going to be annoying because everyone's going to be on like kind of the same things.
Who plays cash games on Thanksgiving? Come on.
I haven't. It worked out well. I forget who was the guy. Do you remember the Chicago Bears tight end last year, Holden? Who was that guy?
Shaheen, maybe?
It wasn't Shaheen, but I remember reading up on him, and I did all this research, and I grinded it out, and I was playing this tight end, and the reason I played it is because tight end is awful, right? So my whole point of playing him on FanDuel was he's 4K, and it allowed me to get all these different things because it was difficult to get stuff.
Was it Burton?
No, it was some random dude. I forget. I'll look it up at some point here.
Bradley Sowell.
No, it wasn't him. I
had to be Broniker.
No, it wasn't. I'll find it, Holden. Don't worry.
You got to find this. Driving me nuts now. I just started looking at the 2019 schedule here for them.
I'll find it when
you're killing me, Styles. Javon Wims, Trey Burton. Come on. We cannot move on until you're done. JP Holtz.
It may have been him. I don't know. He's some dude that played in college. I forget, but I'm rambling. I'll find it here when you're talking.
They all play in college?
Yeah. They did all play in college. But hold on, let me get to it. I'll find it for you. I can't find it on the fly. My computer will be slow. I will find it. Don't worry. But the reason I liked it, right, is because I could play a cheap tight end, right? And I could get a lot of other guys. And he ended up falling in the end zone, and it was great. It was a good time. But what I kind of wanted with this slate is I want it to be a difficult puzzle, right? I want it to be like, you can't have McLaurin and have Deontay Johnson and have Ezekiel Elliott. And that's my issue with this slate, right? Matthew Stafford, if he has all of his tools and he's 5.8K, I hope he has all his tools, right? Because I want there to be some decisions on this slate. If he doesn't, it's going to be a super frustrating slate to the point where guys like Marvin Hall at 3K or whatever he's at, he doesn't even feel like he's a guy to even look at because I'm just okay, why am I playing him when I can play all these other better players? So that's kind of my rant. It's more of a DK thing. FanDuel, it's not as bad. The pricing is a little bit better over there. But let's actually dive into the game and kind of talk about it here from a DFS perspective.
Yes. And I got a little breaking news here before we do. And I know we're talking about Houston, Detroit, but we're going to get to Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and multiple members in the Ravens organization. And Jeff Zaribic, who covers the team for the Athletics, says players and front office staff or other members of the organization. And you got to remember, you can't have positive tests if you're going to play a game. I mean, the NFL is going to go bananas to get this game in. This. They're not passing up Thursday Night Football with these two teams on Thanksgiving night, but it's a bit of a sweat right now because the Ravens had to close the thing down. I mean, there's another angle to this. Like, we only might have 2 games on this slate, but we know this. The NFL is not going to go down easily. They're going to try every bit that they can to get this game in. Anyways.
Yeah. And hold on. While you were doing that, I found the guy. His name is Jesper Horsted. That was his name. He caught
Jesper Horsted.
He literally caught a touchdown for 18 yards.
That's awesome.
Good job. I was very excited about that, and I got my 7 points or whatever, and helped me get in all the dudes. So there you go. We'll see if maybe we'll do that again.
So look, FanDuel, Watson, Stafford. Watson's 8,700, Stafford's 7,200. If Galladay's back, any interest in Stafford? And then on the other side, we were just talking about this on DraftKings. You can just basically play anybody you want. So
yeah, I like Stafford. I think I want all his guys back though, right? Like, I mean, not all of them. I just want Galladay in particular, right? That's the guy I would hope to have back. I do want to talk about Duke Johnson in this game, right? The reason why is like, so listen, I get it. Duke Johnson has been a rough ride. It hasn't been good, but if there's a get right spot, it's Detroit, right? Right? I mean, that's the worst. But it's the team, right? Like, if it's more so, if he doesn't do it here, he's never doing it, right? Oh, I'm with you. And I'm more so, it's with the offensive line is the issue. But I want to see how this offensive line is health-wise. That's the thing I'm going to look for. And I'm curious to see what happens with ownership. He's been chalky the past couple of weeks. Are we getting him against the worst team, in the league? You can run the ball all over. Are we getting him at low ownership? I don't know, but it's definitely worth thinking about and considering. So he's in the conversation, but I think Brandon Cooks, that's the one guy that's like completely mispriced. Yes. Again, why is he 5'3"? Holden, he should be 6K. It's really not that difficult.
Hey, if we don't have if we don't have DeAndre Swift, do you go Kerryon Johnson? I'm not playing Adrian Peterson. I do not give a damn. If he beats me, that's fine. This guy is he's stuck in the mud. Kerryon Johnson got 11 touches. Unfortunately, only had 2 catches. I thought he'd be used more in the passing game. If you're going to pick one running back, because if Swift is in, I'm playing Swift, and I don't think we're thinking about it, but would you roster Johnson or Adrian Peterson?
Yeah. The best part about this is like, listen, AP, he gets a good matchup, right? It is the Texans. Like, the reason why, so I don't know. Do you know what the snap split was between the 2 guys yesterday? Did you have that, or can you grab the info quick?
I'll grab it for you. Sure.
Grab it for me. And the reason why I'm asking is, I want to know the difference between Johnson and AP. And the reason why I want to know is the Lions were losing the entire game, right? So you can make the argument, whatever you saw from Adrian Peterson is the floor, and whatever you saw from Kerryon Johnson could be the ceiling of their snaps, right? So that's the kind of thing that I'm looking at, and I want to know what the answer is here. So
all right, I got the answer for you, buddy. I got the answer for you. The answer is that we don't have the snaps written down. So that's my answer for you.
Okay. Well, I'll say this.
I'll keep looking.
Yeah,
keep looking.
If you can find it, that's great. I'm sure I could find it too. I should have looked it up before we got on, but
I know that's okay.
Like I said, the thing that I think is important to note is the way that game script was, like, that felt like that's kind of Kerryon Johnson.
Got it.
Ceiling.
70% for Kerryon Johnson, 30 for Peterson, 39% or 39 snaps for Johnson, 17 for Peterson, but Peterson still had more carries.
Okay. And so the one thing I'm looking at here and thinking about is, okay, that, you know what that shows me? If the Lions are leading, then Adrian Peterson is going to get more snaps than he did last week. He just is. So when you're building your teams, right? If you're building, let's say you're building, let's say you put Adrian Peterson on your team. I think that's better for you. Let's say you want to play AP. You think he's a good play. I'm not saying that's a good idea or bad, but let's say you like him. If you like him, you better damn well sure be playing Will Fuller or Brandon Cooks ran back, because Adrian Peterson, if he's getting the work, he's going to be running it. If you're playing Kerryon Johnson, you know what's interesting? If you are playing Kerryon Johnson, doing like a full up stack, right? Play a Matthew Stafford, play it with a Kenny Galladay if he's in there. Doing that whole stack is an interesting idea. Again, this is a 3-game slate, right? It's not like a 12-game slate where there's so many different things that can hit. So doing a stack with a running back and quarterback is not the worst idea in the world. And that double dip too, if you do get both of those, I always find whenever you can get the double dip of both the points, that's even more valuable on smaller slates, right? Because there's less touchdowns being scored. On a typical NFL Sunday, there's, 50 touchdowns being scored. That's probably not the number, but on a Thanksgiving slate, what are you getting? You're getting 12 touchdowns altogether. So if you can double dip into one with a Kerryon Johnson Stafford one, That's pretty good. So, we should talk about the receivers more. Like Brandon Cooks is a great and safe.
Well, real quick on that, because Randall Cobb is likely to not play because of that toe. So no Randall Cobb likely, and that's really going to open things up.
Yeah, so then you're going to get, I think what you're going to see is more Will Fuller and more Cooks. I think Kike Kute becomes the value play. But, man, I'm still not a big believer in Kike Kute. I am curious, though. Like, we saw him catch a touchdown. We saw him get 4 targets, and he was on the field more than it felt like in the past, right? Did Kike Kute have some problem with Bill O'Brien, right? And is it going to change now? Are we actually going to see him out there? Because in the past in DFS, we've been playing Kike Kute, right? We've been trying to make it happen. We keep trying, oh, he should be out there, and then he's never out on the field. Is he going to get the chance here? Like, he could be interesting, and he's a value play, right? Yeah. Something to look at. Kenny Stills, he is questionable. Hasn't been ruled out yet. If he's obviously back, that would make some things interesting. But, something to note, obviously. That's a good point with Randall Cobb there. And then we got to watch the Lions receiver news, right? Marvin Jones certainly in play. Hawkinson, man. Hawkinson's a great player, man. I definitely like getting some Hawkinson at the tight end spot. He's definitely in play. And then Kenny Golladay, I want to get the news on that. But that kind of wraps up that game, I think. It's a 51 total holding. There's a lot going on. It's definitely the game that gets the most exposure, in my opinion.
All right. We have a special visitor here. So my daughter's in here. What do you need? Who's winning that game? Is it going to be the Lions or the Texans?
Lions.
All right. What do you need me to get you? What do you need?
Movie over.
The movie's over? Okay. Well, go find another movie. You know how to use my remote control. All right. Special. It's a special Thanksgiving week, so I got a whole bunch to do. Yeah. Just keep using Disney, sweetie. Anyways.
Hold it. I want to say, though, so she's on the Lions here, man.
She's on the Lions.
If she hits, man, run pure bets, man. Your daughter will be 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Put it on the sheet.
Close the door, sweetie. I can hear your crazy movie out there. Go have a good time. Anyways, thank you, sweetheart. It's Thursday. It's coming up. We got Thanksgiving, so we had to cancel our trip to Florida. We were going to Legoland, and now she's hanging out with me at home. I'm pretty impressed. We went 25 minutes without a visit. Anyways, we're done with that game. So what do we got going on right now with premium? So 50% off, right? 50% off your first payment with Turkey 50. Turkey 50. You'll get the bet side for $20. Also, here's what you get with the Primo stuff when you enter Turkey 50. How about the content? You're doing your core plays. JSU does his core plays. Big T, Hoop. You get the core plays from some of the best players in the world, so you know who they're playing. And then you get to look at their tiers too. So you can basically figure out what lineups that they're using on a week-to-week basis. I'm not kidding you. And I've had conversations with JSU about this. It's like, you can do it if you want to. And I have used this core. I don't go back and, go player for player. But last week yesterday, 9X on his lineup. Absolutely amazing. Third time it's happened this season. So we got the Primo stuff.
He had 150 points by himself, I think, with his core. He told me something like
without the guys that went with. I hit 171 with his core yesterday. So that means like the 3 players that I had all sucked.
Yeah, one of yours was probably a defense too, so defense sucks, so don't worry.
Well, I had the Broncos. They did pretty well. The Broncos hooked me. Yeah, it was Kalen Ballage.
Yep,
that was one.
He should have done better. That was good. That was a good play. I liked him
brutal.
a lot.
That was brutal. Anyways, that's what we got going on. Let's get to our next game here. By the way, do you talk about Hawkinson? Let's just say Hawkinson's in play for tight end for that.
Yeah, list. I mentioned him. He's definitely a really good play and someone to look at, so I like him a lot.
Washington and Dallas, the rivalry, which is just going to be really ugly. 2.5-point favorites, Dallas at home. Are we buying this after one game? They look good. 46.5 is the total. So I did a whole bunch of research on this game this morning. What do we got? We got the total. I actually like the under. Dalton versus Smith. Dallas offense looked competent, but how bad is that Minnesota D? Man, going, they're brutal. Check out the points differentials. Dallas has been outscored by 83 points this year. Washington 27. These are 2 bad teams. 46.6 of opponent possessions have resulted in scores. Like almost half the time a team has the football, they're scoring on Dallas. It's gross. And you'd say, hey, why don't we go with the over? I'll tell you why you don't go with the over. I think that this is going to be running and ugly and disgusting. I don't care about the side. I like the under total. Mangone, what's your breakdown of this game?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I like the Cowboys a bit here. having Andy Dalton back is definitely better for this team, right? He's a competent backup, especially if you watched, I was on Twitter. I love making fun of, when that first game where Dalton was not doing great and Zeke, right? It was an absolute disaster. It was fun to rip the Cowboys, but it wasn't really Dalton's fault as much. It was more so Zeke and the guys dropping all the balls, right? I mean, it was tough out there. So Dalton has been decent enough, and I think he can have a pretty solid game. Wow. Now, my one thing I'm wondering here, and I'm curious about, again, I'm not big on the Dallas offensive line, but I am big on this Redskins defensive line. This defensive line is good. So how is Andy Dalton going to be able to handle that line in his face, right? That could definitely cause some issues for him. I don't know how Minnesota was at getting the pressure on the quarterback yesterday. That's something that obviously, you look at that, and maybe that's why Dalton was able to have a better game. But I do worry a little bit about some of these Washington front seven kind of getting in his face a bit. I think Dalton, is someone that you can look at, but I think I'd prefer, let's just play Stafford at 7,200 instead, right? Instead of 6,800 on FanDuel. I don't think it's a crazy idea to play Alex Smith. I'm not sold that this Dallas defense is still any good, right?
They're horrible.
If Alex Smith is going to be trailing, he's going to be throwing a bunch, right? And he's going to be doing all those dump offs. So if you're going to play, this is a slate where I think playing an Alex Smith to a J.D. McKissick and along with a McLaurin is a great idea. And then run it with Ezekiel Elliott too, right? In the stack. I think that's a perfectly fine way to go. That's obviously leading to the game script that, the Cowboys, they're running the ball more and they're leading. And then Washington is throwing a ton. So that's kind of how I'm thinking of it in a DFS perspective. From the betting side though, Holden, this is definitely a tough game. If you look though, the total's what, 50? Is it 46 and a half or 47? What is it? It's
46 and a half, and I still like the under. It opened at 47.
The one thing I'll say, and I don't know, does Dallas have a lot of fans? Because the no fan stuff, I mean, that's a very
they got fans. They got
that's what I thought.
They're putting a ton of them in. They're putting, Jerry Jones is leading the world in fans, 30,000.
That's what I figured. Okay, so they're still packing them in more than the other places. I was going to say, obviously, with the NFL, we've been seeing more overs hit, right? And this is in a dome. So you're 46 and a half in a dome is weird to see. Obviously, the Cowboys, they still want to kind of play a little bit faster and throw the ball. I mean the over a little bit, mainly because it's a dome, man. And it's 46 and a half is low for that being there. And I'm not scared of that Dallas defense. I think the Cowboys too. I think they play at a fast enough pace where that's going to, lean in the favor of the over. And that's where I would go to that. On the total side, or not the total, the spread side, I'll admit I don't got a strong lean on it, and that's okay, right? I don't think there's a spot that you have to have a strong lean. You don't have to take every single game. And the next game, I definitely have a side I like more that I'll definitely go to. But that kind of wraps it up for me on this one, Holden. Not too much else. I mean, you talk about the receivers for the Cowboys?
Real quick, the running games here from a DFS perspective. I think there's a lot going on. You could go with Zeke at 8,500. I think in a tournament, it would not kill you to go with Pollard. I just saw this stat. It's from a guy named Mosher. He covers the Cowboys, and he's just terrific. So Tony Pollard averages a 10 or more yard run once every 7.4 carries. Could you imagine if this guy got 15 carries a game? He wouldn't even have to get all the work. He's just so efficient. So I'm not completely against, and it's not even an MME thing. I just think Tony Pollard is a guy that could explode and pay off. He's 5,100 on FanDuel. Do you want to go Gibson or McKissick? I think Gibson had one more snap last week. So the running games to me are the really fascinating ones. There's a lot to like, I think. And I still like the under, but McLaurin, Amari Cooper made an appearance. CeeDee Lamb looked terrific. The tight ends, Dalton Schultz, man, people keep sleeping on Schultz. Andy Dalton looking his way again. He scored a touchdown, had 6 targets. So I think there's actually a lot of DFS goodness here. But to me, it just doesn't add up as far as the game total goes. So what do you think? Logan Thomas even.
Well, I'm not a big, I'm obviously not a big person that likes to play tight end. So Dalton Schultz makes some sense, right? And the one reason I was considering Dalton Schultz the last slate, I thought tight end, you didn't have to do it because he was 3,600 versus Dallas Goedert, who was 38. I wanted Dalton Schultz last week to be 3,200 on DK or 3K. That way I could have considered rostering him and got a bigger upgrade. And the reason why I didn't mind Dalton Schultz is I figured Andy Dalton would look at him more, and he has. And with a strong front seven, kind of getting some pressure on Dalton, what's that lead to, Holden? More dump offs, which can help Dalton Schultz. So I like that call. I think that makes some sense. My problem with Tony Pollard, Holden, and this is why the slate sucks, we can't consider Tony Pollard, right? Why can we not consider him as much? Because we don't have Alvin Kamara to pay for. We don't have to, go up to Terry McLaurin, who should be 7-8 or 8K. You can just play a lot of guys you want. Like, it's not that hard. And if you are playing Tony Pollard, right? Like, let's say you want to 3-game slates, I feel like you can play 2 running backs from the same team. If you really think that the Redskins are going to get killed on the ground, which I'm not saying they will, but if you do, you go a Pollard, you can go a Zeke together, and then you can play like McLaurin ran back, right? That's like an interesting stack idea that you can go with if you think that that's going to happen. And on top of it, if the Cowboys get a lot of ownership, like all those receivers, that would be a massive leverage on the pass game too. We have to look for the big thing on 3-game slates is we need to look for leverage spots, right? And especially if like you're losing, like it's 12:30, right? And let's say the Houston and Detroit game, you're losing because you didn't play the Houston Detroit game and went absolutely crazy. Now you got to try and find some crazier things to do. Maybe it's playing the Baltimore pass game, right? And loading up on Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews, right? You have to look for routes to kind of, get different if you're behind. And let's say you do something crazy in the Houston game. Like if you're in the Houston game, and I'm not trying to backtrack too much, but let's say you play, I'm trying to think of a guy that'll be like under-owned on that game. Like let's say, who's the guy? Oh, Danny Amendola. Let's say he plays, he wasn't planning on playing, but he ends up playing and he's like 5% owned. If you play him and he hits for 2 touchdowns, now you can eat a lot of chalk maybe in that Washington-Dallas game. So look to do that in tournaments. I think that's super important.
Okay. This is, let's tell people one more time, or maybe even 2 more times. The premium shows we have. First of all, you are on a premium show Sunday morning called the Morning Wood. And it's you and Hoop and Big T running down the slate. And I absolutely love it. It starts at what? 10 o'clock?
Yeah. So what happens is it starts at 10. Starts at 10. And then what happens is that's free on YouTube. And then what happens is once the show ends, it goes right to premium. So if you want to watch, you got to watch right away. You got to be in. So it'll cut off and it'll be premium. The thing is, you want to watch live. You know why you watch live, Holden? Because you don't want to watch us on repeat because you're watching you and JSU, man. Like that's what you're going to 11:30. So yeah.
So then me and JSU take you up to about 12:45, about 15 minutes before the game. So from 11:30 to 12:45, we're going through JSU's core. We're breaking down each play. Again, we went through his cores yesterday, and then you look today, and it's like, bang, he hit. He had some Roethlisberger. He had a whole bunch of Herbert and Keenan Allen. And it really is here's the difference. I'm such a better DFS player this year because I'm talking with you guys all the time, right? I'm talking with you. I'm talking with Hoop. I'm talking with Big T. I'm talking with JSU. You actually get a chance to hang out with these guys too in a thing called Discord. If you're not familiar with Discord, just get into chat, ask these guys a question, and usually you're going to get a reply within an hour. So that's big too. There's a lot of great things that we offer here. And I can't recommend it enough. If I wasn't working with these guys, I would be a subscriber. So again, we hit all our core plays there, and 50% off your first payment. Use Turkey 50. We'll do that. So let's get into the Steelers and the Ravens. Again, there's some problem here. There's multiple positive COVID tests. We've seen it before. Teams have still played. They only delayed 1 or 2 games this year, but we got a short week and the Ravens just closed their facility down. I'm not worried about that as far as game prep. These teams, we didn't have a preseason. They went out there and they were fine, but just keep that in mind when we're talking about this. And the total here has gone from 46 down to 45, 3.5. I'm even seeing 4 Pittsburgh 4-point favorites. I really like Baltimore +4. If I can get that on DK right now. Oh boy, that must have just changed because
it probably changed with all the COVID stuff. I mean, it's probably
because Baltimore, right? Maybe we can get this line up to 5 or 6. That would be wonderful. But I think the big thing here, Mangone, I think Pittsburgh's the better team. I think they win on a money line, but are they going to win? They won by 4 in that last game. I think this is the same type of thing. I think this is a field goal game. Both teams terrific defensively. Baltimore number 1 in points allowed. Pittsburgh's number 3. I think the difference is the offenses. And, this Steelers offense, it's all about passing. They can't run the football. You're just going to have to deal with Ben throwing 40 times to 3 really explosive players. I do want to bring this up, though. Juju Smith-Schuster stepped on the penalty flag and actually tweaked his ankle. So whether or not he plays, I don't know, but Ben has a ton of weapons. I just side with Baltimore with the points. I do think Pittsburgh wins this game straight up.
Yeah, another reason why we should have priced up Deontay Johnson and Claypool.
Yes.
But, that's my rant.
Oh, that was the other guy. Out of all the 3 Pittsburgh wide receivers, JSU said, play Deontay Johnson. Boom. He won you money too. So there's another JSU core. Anyways, my friend.
Yeah. So I'm on the other side. I really want to bet Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Mainly because dude, the Ravens, they suck, man. I also don't know what's going on with their interior, right? I know they had some struggles, on the defensive line. They're a little bit banged up, and maybe they'll be ready for Thursday. And if they are, obviously that gives them a little bit of a small bump back. But I just don't think listen, Lamar Jackson. The way we handicap a lot, quarterbacks matter the most when it comes to figuring out spreads and totals and everything like that. Lamar Jackson is like a shell of himself right now. He is not good. I do not want to bet on him against the Steelers team, a Steelers team that this defense is good. They see him a ton. I am definitely very, very nervous for a guy like Lamar Jackson. I think he has a rough game. I am out on him. Maybe he runs better, right? Maybe he starts creating more with his legs. That's just the thing. I haven't seen it. Why are you just dropping back all the time? Maybe because they have a spy on him. It's one of those things where it always feels like whenever he runs out to the right or left, it always feels like they always close on him quicker than normal. And they're just daring him to make that throw. And he can't make that throw. So prove it to me, Lamar Jackson, before I start betting on you. I am betting on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I bet on the Titans yesterday. That worked out well for me. I'm going to continue to bet against Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
The Steelers and Ravens are always holding. They're always a -3 or a -4 spread. Always. And you're going to tell me that this 10-0 Steelers team should be a -4 or -3 right now? No. This should be -6. This should be -6.5, somewhere around there. Yeah.
This is blowout city. I mean, these 2 teams played to 4 points last game. It was back and forth. They're always going to beat the shit out of each other.
We'll see, but I don't care. I'm not a believer here in Lamar Jackson. So I'm out. Give me the Steelers, man.
Okay. Very good. Very good. I am going to disagree with you on that, but we'll have a good time and we'll watch it. We'll see what happens. DFS side, J.K. Dobbins has been a guy I've been playing quite a bit lately, and basically he owned the backfield from quarters 2 through 4 in overtime. How do you not play, especially in cash at this point? J.K. Dobbins, 5,500 on DraftKings. Are you kidding me? He owns the backfield now, Mangone. He's the man.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they give him the work, he's the guy, and he should be. I know the game before the Patriots game, he wasn't, and it seemed a bit frustrating. But J.K. Dobbins, I think he is an interesting play. My problem here is I don't know if I want to play him against the Steelers, right? This is not the team to try and run against. It doesn't work out so well. So I don't really want to play many of these Ravens. I mean, maybe I'll play Mark Andrews, maybe. I see, Antoine Murphy, he's in the chat. He said, are they even going to play with the COVID outbreak? Listen, man, I don't know. They might not play. But we got to talk about it anyways, right? Because they could play. They always force, not that they force, but they always try to do their best to get through the the COVID protocols, and they try and just keep going through them. It could be that it was a negative test. I haven't even looked at it that much. I just know it popped up, and it's news.
4,
okay.
And we have had negative tests, but we got a game on Thursday with a facility closed. I just think there's too many eyeballs that are going to watch this, and they're going to try. They'll take a XFL team and put them out there against the Steelers if they have.
Yeah, they're definitely going to try, and they're not just going to switch. They're not just going to say, "Hey, the Sunday night game is on Thursday." There's no way they do that. I think they're going to try their best to get this game out there, but that doesn't matter. Let's just talk about the game, right?
Yes.
Again, Lamar Jackson. I don't want to play him. The only way I would be playing Lamar Jackson is if you tell me, "Hey, he's going to be 2% owned in tournaments," right? On a 3-game slate, then I could understand that. Totally could get it. I just don't want to really play many of these Ravens. Ownership is going to dictate if I decide to play them in tournaments, and that's it. I don't want to play many of these guys in cash games. I'm out on them. The Steelers, though, I want to play Claypool and I want to play Deontay Johnson, and I'm always going to pick Deontay over all these guys. Deontay's the guy for me. Definitely going to lean him. He's just in that Antonio Brown role. He looks incredible. He's the guy that I would be leaning towards. Now, can James Conner get it done? I will say this. Let's say James Conner, he does not get a ton of ownership that you'd expect. If that's the case, and the Steelers receivers are getting ownership, if those receivers don't score touchdowns, who scores the touchdowns? It's probably James Conner, right? It's a chance it's him, or it's a chance it's Eric Ebron. So they're good leverage plays. Those are guys to look at and consider. So yeah, but I lean those receivers. I'd rather go them, Claypool, Deontay Johnson. They're my two favorites. And Big Ben, he could have a nice little game too. I could see people maybe going to Watson and Stafford more and ignoring Big Ben because they're like, it's Ravens Steelers. It's a grinded out game, right? Defenses play hard, but like Big Ben could put up a lot of points and be a really good tournament play.
You playing Bronson Rechsteiner this week? Exactly.
No Bronson for me.
It'll be interesting though, because somebody like an Ingram or an Edwards could fall in the end zone a couple times and win the slate. Like Benny Snell. Benny Snell took the goal line carry again yesterday from James Conner. And he ended up scoring. There's no ceiling there though. My
problem is we don't need Benny Snell. The reason you would need him is if there was Alvin Kamara to jam in and Dalvin Cook and all those, they're just not there. So
but we can't play all chalk. We're going to have to find somebody to be a little bit different that is good enough to play in your lineup.
Leave salary on the table. I mean, that's my lean in tournaments.
That's what it is. You have to.
That's my lean. Like, yeah. I just think that's kind of like I'm on FanDuel right now. I'm going to make it. I'm not going to give you the full team, right? But let's put in Watson, right? We'll put in Brandon Cooks. These are all really good players. We'll put in Deontay Johnson. I'll put in Zeke, right? And I'm at like 5.9K for a running back, a receiver, a tight end, a flex, and a defense. And the defense, you can go super cheap. You can leave so much salary on the table. You can go cheap at your tight end. There's so many routes that you can be different. You can go Kike Kute, who's going to be mid-price.
Yes.
Yeah. If Juju's out, James Washington could be a really good play for a cheap option. So leaving salary on the table is the way I would try to be different in GPPs.
Okay. This week. Real quick, she's back in here. Let's get another pick from her before we get out of here. Steelers and Ravens, dear. Who wins Steelers and Ravens? Ravens win that one. Oh. And the Washington football team versus the Dallas Cowboys. Who's winning?
Cowboys.
Oh, come on. You were born in DC, kid. Get out of here. All right. I love you. Give me 5 minutes and I'll be right back.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Mwah. Love you. Okay. So we're done now, right? Just about.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so a couple things. I want to hit the chat because first of all, O-World is upset at me because I took, I think I took the Ravens to cover. I don't know why you would get upset at me about that. I'm just hating. I'm not hating. I love the Steelers. As a matter of fact, I'm like the only guy on another place I work, the only guy that thinks that the Steelers could beat the Chiefs. Okay. So settle down, O-World. Don't take anything personally. Beat Boz. How are you, buddy? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Do I live in Denver? Yes, I do. Slapshot Mo. You want to get a drink, but I don't drink. That's all I do. So that's me. How about you, Mango?
Yeah. Listen, I want to break down Kenzie. Kenzie's your daughter's name, right? I want to break down her picks.
Enzi.
Okay. So Enzie's picks.
Yes, Enzi.
We got the Lions, we got the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And we got the Ravens. So those are the three. So, there you go. Those are the picks
right.
there.
Lions, Cowboys, Ravens, right? Yeah. All right. Very good. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Hold on real quick. 2 thumbs up on the video, guys. 2 thumbs up on the video. We'd appreciate it. Helps us out a ton over here.
Okay, all the animals are going to win. So you should have taken the Ravens, right? Cowboys and football team. That's not an animal. And then you took the Lions because they're an animal, right? Yeah. That's ridiculous. Come on, we got to improve your handicapping skills, child. You're 5. It's time to you're a big girl now. It's time to start winning money. Okay, so anyways, final countdown. Check out the show. Me and JSU leading up to lock. Mangone and I also put out an awesome cash show. I love it. Me, him, and Hoop, and we'll go down our cores and we talk it out. We actually come up with players. And if you haven't already signed up for premium, just do it. 50% off with the code Turkey50. Mangone, say your piece, buddy, please.
Yeah. Get in on the Turkey 50, hit the like and subscribe and check out our premium shows. We got tons of stuff. We'll have college football. We're going to do a free college football. I think we are. Maybe I'm speaking wrong, but I believe we're doing a free college football show on Saturday morning.
Really?
I think it should be live. If it's not, my apologies. But that's what I thought we're maybe doing. And there's going to be tons of awesome content this weekend. So Turkey 50, sign up now because you get tons of content this week, right? It's only for 1 week there for the Turkey 50. But hey, you're getting double the football this week.
Yeah. Again, O-World took it personally. O-World, are you a subscriber? If you are not a subscriber, you better sign up, use Turkey50, and then you get into the Discord and talk as much shit to me as you want. I have no problem with that. You can just call me horrible things, but only if you signed up. And if you are a subscriber already, that's fine. Then you can keep talking trash. All right, Simon, thank you so much behind the scenes. I appreciate it. I will be recording the Wishbone with Uncle T and G Risen tonight, so that'll drop. It's the Old Guys podcast. We'll look at the Turkey Day slate with a couple of old dudes as well. Again, thank you very much. Head to runpuresports.com. Check out the bet side for an extra $20 and keep running pure. Happy Thanksgiving.